Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of my Ironman series. I hope everybody's doing well. I am recording this after editing it all, and it is a long and very full episode of a lot of progress, and that's why it's been at least over a month, and maybe like a month and a half since the last episode. I am recording this on March 29th, and that is the day before Archeology comes out. And so I hope everybody's hyped for that, and I hope everybody has the opportunity to enjoy it tomorrow. But for now, here's this video, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you. So, since I had just unlocked Prif, I was looking to go ahead and do some of the easier Master Quest Cape requirements. So, one of the easy ones is 200 laps of the Heffen course for the Heffen title, and I just did those as I saw Heffen hours pop up. I just kind of lazily did them in the background. After that, I set my sights on unlocking the crystal hatchet and the pickaxe of Earth and Song, which for the pickaxe there's a requirement of doing Birthright of the Dwarves to find the pickaxe pieces for the Mkando pickaxe. So I went ahead and started going down the line of quests I had to do on the spreadsheet. I completed the Mighty Fall, Nomad's Eulogy, Tales of Nomad, and then also did a couple of miscellaneous Master Quest Cape requirements, which is visiting the Scarabus Mask Tomb, which is after, I believe, Diamond in the Rough, and then also doing the extra catches of the monster from Deadliest Catch. And finally, it was time to do Birthright of the Dwarves. So after Birthright of the Dwarves, to actually get the pickaxes pieces, you have to go and do Lava Flow Mine, which is an interesting minigame, which has gotten a lot better, in my opinion, after the mining and smithing rework. You now have a progress bar that will tell you how close you are to a lava spirit, and from then, you have to get the spirit and get the full golden mining outfit, which is something I wanted anyway, just to have the XP boost. But after you get the full set, then she starts giving you, or allows you to gild pickaxes, which is you need a gilded dragon pickaxe to make an Imkando pickaxe, along with the 4 shards from the Geyser random event. So I got the full mining set, gilded my pickaxe, and got all 4 pieces of the pickaxe. After gathering the pickaxe pieces, I had to take it to Thurgo along with the red berry pie to bribe him into creating the pickaxe. Next, I went ahead and crafted the crystal pickaxe, as it is required for the pickaxe of Earth and Song. So then, I had to grab a quick little boost to 90 smithing to create the pickaxe, and finally, after a long time of sitting on dragon pickaxes and just using the best base metal pickaxe I could make, I finally created the pickaxe of Earth and Song. And just to kind of give you context, I did manage to keep track of quite a bit of the stuff I did on the dragon pickaxe grind, which you can see here. So you can see I got a good handful of hand cannons, quite a bit of charms, the 2 pickaxes of course, and then I also used all of the muddy keys, which you can see the loot from there to the right. Additionally, if you're interested, here is the setup that I used. This is just a simple preset, and the main thing is the Dungeoneering necklace to restore your prayer, and the Bone Crusher. Next, I just kind of started going down the spreadsheet to kind of catch up on some of the Master Quest Cape requirements. So one of the ones is to max out your kudos, which I was just missing building the statue once, and here we are doing that. Next, I delved into the desert because I realized that I could easily complete the Desert Elite Diary, which sounded fun, so I went and grabbed one of the hidden masks from, I believe, Diamond and Rough again, to equip in the desert for that task. Next, I set out on creating the Slayer Helm because it's required for the Desert Elite Diary. So I kind of bumbled through crafting it. I did not realize that you had to completely uncharge the black mask, which thankfully there's a right-click option to do so. So I tried like crafting the masked ear muffs and everything, and eventually the dialogue in the chat box kind of guides you to what you need to do. So Eventually, I was able to craft the Slayer Helm, and then also, since I had managed to get a Hex Crest and a Far Sight, I went ahead and added those to create the complete, however you say it, Slayer Helm. So, with my new full Slayer Helm, I went and finished the Elite Desert Diary by killing a Strike Worm wearing the full Slayer Helm and I believe an Ancient Staff. After that, I continued down the spreadsheet as I could claim the Fate of the Gods XP lamps, which are here in the north end of Narda with Ali the Wise, I believe. These I had left unclaimed because I believe there was a level requirement for some of them. Might have been the combat lamps. I believe you might need like level 70, 80 or something like that, and I didn't have that at the time. As I was doing this, while I had AFK time, I was gathering the rest of the dust I needed for the crystal hatchet. So once I finally had that, I went and created the crystal hatchet and also augmented it. So whenever I was feeling bored or I had YouTube videos to catch up on, stuff like that, I would sit in the background and just work on getting double surge by doing laps on the Anachronia course. And it was a bit of a grind. I'm not a big fan of it, but it's finally done, and double surge is probably one of the best things in the game, maybe behind Bladed Dive. Next, I needed something to do when I was kind of wanting to be semi-active, kind of half paying attention, you know? So I started working on catching red Chinchompas to try to get red Chinchompas at least, for player-owned farms. I want red Chinchompas just so that I can create mechanized Chinchompas from the ones that I passively get from growing them in player-owned farms. I think the day of this clip, I got a crystal Chinchompa from the Trapper, so I'm starting to go ahead and switch to crystal Chinchompas for now, and stock up for when Archeology comes out, and I'll use skill Chompas then as much as I have. And after that, hopefully, I'll have a red Chinchompa or two to go ahead and breed and try to get more red Chins, so that I can stock up on mechanized Chinchompas, because I will probably be using quite a few once I get to the later part of PVM in this account. Next, I realized, looking at my stats, I literally had one stat that was still under 70, and it was runecrafting. So, I went ahead and went and did Tears of Guthix so I can go ahead and get the last little bit, and that got me to base 70 stats. So I just want to include some screenshots from some of the stuff that I missed recording. I did get a wand drop from Hellweir, and so this sparked me to go ahead and start working on 90 smithing so that I can get a tier 85 offhand in the form of the augmented crystal orb. And additionally, I got 99 farming just passively through player-owned farms. And additionally, one day doing my Reaper of Chaos Elemental, I got the Chaos Elemental pet. And additionally, I got the little Tuz pet randomly doing a raid one day. So, since I needed 90 smithing, as I AFK'd, I went ahead and started mining Bainite, and eventually got enough Bainite to go ahead and smith all the way up to 90 smithing. At 90 smithing, which you can't boost for, Lady Heffen will give you a free attuned crystal weapon seed, which is needed to craft any attuned crystal weapon. The reason she gives it to you is because it is very RNG dependent to get one, and they added it as RNG mitigation to just give you one at 90 if you didn't have it, because there is an achievement locked behind it. Next, I needed 80 woodcutting to continue down the spreadsheet, so I went and grabbed my newly fashioned crystal hatchet and went to town on some teaks. I'm banking these teaks to get some construction because I don't have 99 construction banked, even in the slightest, so rather than crystallizing acacias or something, I went ahead and just chopped teaks. And the 80 woodcutting was for the Carving into Gains achievement, which is after I the name of the quest, but it's this sliding puzzle ice one that I did literally, I think, on the first day of the account. But there are several things of XP hidden in the cave, and this one required 80 woodcutting. After that, you have to go to Lumbridge and talk to an NPC to actually unlock the achievement. Next, I just started going down the spreadsheet doing more Master Quest achievements, and here I did Squeal Over Coins, which is basically just unlocking this chest after the Mighty Fall. Next was the quest The Light Within, which unlocks a whole host of rewards in the Ancient Spellbook and the Curses Prayer Book as well. Next up, I was doing Children of Ma, and I figured I might as well bang out the Death to the Majorat achievement, which is just basically inspecting these stones along the path. And here I am completing Children of Ma. This is probably my favorite quest in the entire game. I just really love the duality that Saren and Zeros share, and it's all outlined in this quest, how they're related and what all happens to them. No spoilers. After that, I needed to do an achievement here in the elf homeland. Basically, you just have to run around and find these little books that are hidden around, and it's a very easy achievement to check off. Next up was Memory of the Myrique. I had started this right as I could after the second to last quest in the Vampire Blood or Vampire quest line. I went ahead and let it set up. It takes, I think, a week for all the spaces to become available. And so I circled back and went ahead and built all the statues and gave them the proper equipment. Something I was AFKing around this time was the achievement You're Not My Real Ma, which is to collect 100 Elder Chronicles in the Elder Halls, which is something I mentioned, I believe, in last episode, that if you're doing the Majorat Memories mini-quest, you need to do You're Not My Real Ma at the same time, because otherwise you will be like me and spend probably another 10 hours or so just trying to get Elder Chronicles by yourself and not completing the Majorat Memories at the same time. After that, I had a realization that Archeology was coming up, and that with Archeology being a gathering skill, the set of Grace of the Elves and Luck of the Dwarves would be very beneficial to me, as I could get Saren Spirits and also store Porter Charges, whatever Porter Charges I could gather. And so this sparked me to make a final push to finish River of Blood and do some Virus Slaying for Invention XP by disassembling Sunspears. After doing River of Blood, you need to go claim the vampirism essence, or at least I claimed the vampirism essence, as it's just a baby version of the vampirism aura, but you can pick out a list. But I picked the vampirism one, and that also is a Master Quest Cape requirement to come back and claim this reward. After those, I realized that the next thing on the list was Sliskay's Endgame, and that gives you a cool 1.2 million XP reward, and I figured I'd dump that into Prayer so that I could get 92 Prayer as quick as possible, so that I would be able to soul split while doing Vires to help make it more AFK. So I went ahead and completed Sliskay's Endgame. After completing Sliskay's Endgame, I also had the maximum amount of quest points that will allow me to get another dice from the quest point shop. So this will be the last dice until they release quite a few more quests, and so it'll probably be the last dice in a long time. I rolled it and got a fortunate component in the form of a dragon mask, and I made the massive mistake of disassembling it. There is a dragon mask requirement in the Master Quests, or Master Clues. There's an emote step that you need a dragon mask for, and I went and disassembled the one I had. So don't make that mistake. I've looked it up. I believe I need a Cavalier, a Boater, and now a dragon mask to have all the clue items for the Master Clue steps. Next up, I needed to craft a lot of augmenters for my little grind at fires, so I went ahead and made 20, which ended up being a few extra than what I needed. I didn't realize that I would be able to get away with using an augmented top and legs. I have a Carol's legs and the hybrid brother from Barrow's top. So I ended up using those, and I was able to siphon those once they hit level 12, and that helped boost me up quite a bit of experience, and I ended up not needing all 20 augmenters. I believe I ended up using only 10. After that, I struggled through doing some fires without Soul Split, which was very annoying and tedious. And once I finished in a couple hours, I was within striking distance of a couple of Saren's Corruption Stones from 92, so I went and finished those off on a half an hour, and got 92 prayer and unlocked Soul Split. I'm just sitting here working on the newly released Yak track. Already done a few of the little tasks here, and I'm really enjoying the cosmetics. I'm really a big fan of like the starry kind of astral, uh, cosmetics. No matter what they're in, and all of this looks pretty freaking cool. So I'm really excited to kind of blitz through the Yak track if possible, and I might have to skip a couple here and there, but I'm just slowly working on it. I need stuff to AFK while I'm working from home, so this is a perfect excuse to get some fire making done, and I need 82 fire making for the last couple quests anyway, so it's a perfect time to kill two birds with one stone. So in downtime between fire trips, while waiting on cooldowns and stuff like that, I started doing easy clues so that I can gather the 100 fortunate components I needed for the 2 alchemical onyxes for my Grace of the Elves and Luck of the Dwarves. All in all, it took me 162 easy clues to get the components, and that's on top of the components I already had from using all of the dice. So in total, that was 100 fortunate components. I believe I had 20, maybe 25 or so from dice, and then the rest were from the 162 easy clues. I believe I did get a couple fortunate components from some elites that I've done, but I didn't keep too close of a count. After opening all those clues, I did end up being able to finish a god book. I actually finished 2. I finished the Ancient One and the Bandos, but I went ahead and did this little copying process to get the Illuminated god book, just so I can have a pretty powerful pocket slot item that gives a lot of bonuses, even if I don't use the passive, which consumes more pages. So, after a bit of a grind, I finally finished 90 Invention, which with a extreme invention potion you can boost up to 107, which is required for the alchemical onyx. I was too excited and went ahead and got it and forgot to record, so here's a screenshot. Next, I realized I was within 5 quests of having the regular quest cape. So the only thing I was lacking was the Minifos reputation for Fight Club, so I went and quickly finished that by doing a solo obelisk. Almost all of my other reputation in Menifos has come from squishing scarabs and doing fishing, so I only had to do a little bit of solo obelisks to finish out that reputation and unlock the ability to do the quests. So I went ahead and banged out Crocodile Tears as well as Ironman in the North and Fight Club. So this was the first time that I had done any of these quests, as they hadn't come out the last time I played my main. So this was pretty fun to do these quests, and they're adding a lot of cool lore that I haven't seen before, which I really like. And next up on the list was another quest that I hadn't done on my main. This is the first time doing it ever, and this was Pieces of Hate, which is the finale for the pirate quest line, and I really enjoyed it. I've always loved the pirate quest line, and I feel like this was a pretty good ending to it all. So I finished that up, and now I only have 2 quests left. In between doing quests on the cooldown of my Vampirism aura, I went ahead and did 2 quick kilns, and got the onyxes I needed for my alchemical ring and necklace, which will become Grace of the Elves and Luck of the Dwarves. So, I didn't forget to show you guys cleaning my bank. However, the unedited footage is about 2 hours long, and even if I bump it up to several thousand% sped up, it just becomes pretty choppy, and you can't really tell what's going on, you can't really follow it, and it looks pretty bad. So, I guess rather than showing you a sped up clip of the raw footage, I'll just kind of go through my bank after I've cleaned it up. And so the main tab here, I put like everything that I need like quickly, like just summoning familiars, some food, potions, all the runes, all the stuff that I use very often, like Bladed Dive, and then now Grace of the Elves and Luck of the Dwarves, some daily stuff such as Wicked Hood, Captain's Log, Toy Mouse for Jack of Trades, all the inventory cleaning kind of stuff, Bone Crusher, the clue holder, Spring Cleaner, all that. And then I've been throwing stuff in here that I'm using very short term. So like right now, my Yak Track task is fletching, so I have my fletching outfit here. I've been fishing while editing this video, so I have the fishing outfit, stuff like that. The next tab is just the combat tab, so I have all the armor and everything for each style and all style as well, all the necklaces and all the weapons and everything all laid out. I just here at the bottom it kind of devolves into a bit of a cluster. I just have random stuff here at the bottom that doesn't have a place yet. I'll probably eventually get rid of the Helm of Trials stuff, but seeing as currently I use some of it for my melee setup, it's staying for now. Then the next tab is teleports. I have, tele tabs, all the clue scrolls, all the, all these unique teleports here at the top. What's really nice is when I'm sitting in the main tab, where I'm sitting a lot, down here at the bottom I can still hit a lot of these pretty common unique teleports, so I can grab them very quickly just opening the bank. The next tab is skilling, so I have all my skilling tools and everything categorized kind of vertically, so I have hatchets with woodcutting urns and all that, like all vertical for each skill. I have the achievement outfit, some pieces of it, other pieces are kind of elsewhere. But I have stuff like the Premier Artifact, all the skill champas that I have, and other miscellaneous stuff, like miscellaneous containers, ropes you need for quests and stuff like that, my gizmos, whatnot. And again, the bottom of this tab kind of gets in the cluster. I have some smelting urns I'm using up, and I needed box traps for catching red chins and stuff like that. But the next is basically my skilling supplies tab. Everybody has one of these with all the logs, all the planks, bones, gems, everything like that. Next, I have a herblore tab, and it looks a little cluttered, but it's kind of organized. This top corner is overload, so it has the extremes, then there's secondaries, as well as grimy versions, and then some extras for making dragonfires. And I have a grimy clean version of every herb, and then below that a secondary for that herb. So it's kind of neat and organized. And then of course at the bottom of the tab it gets very cluttered, but it works out. I really like it. I've loved watching these numbers go way up as I've been doing Vires. Vires are very amazing for herbs. But yep. Next is farming. So I have my farming cape, urns, and then I just have seeds in here kind of organized. All these bottom seeds, all these kind of low level seeds are for feeding spiders in player owned farms. But yep, got that. This tab is kind of like the trophies tab / stuff to get rid of. So I have like all this stuff that I need to alch or disassemble in here. But then also here at the top I have my rare drops, duplicates kind of stuff. So I am sitting on a dormant anima core and crest of Zeros, which is pretty cool. I feel like probably in the future this will become Zamorak anima core. If I get some legs into Zamorak crests, that would be a really easy to get level 80 range gear, which will allow me to do next, I think. I think that's kind of the path I'm looking at. But yep, got my duplicate dragon hatchet here, another amulet forsaken, random barrels drops. But yeah, just stuff I want to keep, but doesn't really have any other place. And here I have the clue tab and other like miscellaneous stuff I want to keep, kind of Prif music bottoms. The shield is needed for a Master Clue step, I believe. Then stuff like the Elite Void Night Top that you get from one of the Void quests, and effigies I can't open, the birds' eggs, stuff like that. I have my summoning tab where I store my charms and secondaries and the spirit gems, stuff like that. And then skilling outfits, so I kept a tab with the ones I use a lot. Um, Farming for farm runs, crafting for AFKing at harps when I'm bored. I cook a lot also when I'm AFKing. Every day for sandstone, I use the magic golem outfit. And then I don't have the full set of prayer, but I use those randomly too. And then there's other miscellaneous stuff in here, like I'm a ghost hunter in here too, and that thieving outfit for when I want to do some thieving. And then I have the not full doses potion tab. I chuck the all, just having these placeholders. If you chuck, 1 doses of something in here, it'll come in here, and periodically I'll come here, withdraw them all, and decant them. I also have miscellaneous food in here that doesn't fit anywhere else. And the final tab is that kind of junk quest tab with all the miscellaneous stuff you don't really want to get rid of. I can probably go through and clean some more of this out now that I have all the quests done, but there's some stuff in here that is kind of a pain to get and is also probably needed for clue steps, stuff like that. But some of this can get cleaned out, and I'll probably be doing that soon. But yeah, that's what my bank's looking like. I really, really, really encourage everyone to set up their bank in a way that it works for you. Like I said, clicking this very first tab and having all this useful stuff at the top, then my combat stuff, and then teleports right underneath has been amazing. And yeah, I don't know, it just speeds up everything I do, really. But yep, so that's what happened to my bank, and I hope it looks a lot better than it did, and I know it does. But I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it inspires you to clean up your bank, or maybe gives you some ideas for what to do. But yeah. So next up, I needed to complete all 3 of the Elite Dungeons in at least story mode to complete the next quest on my list, which was Curse of the Black Stone. And while I was doing that, I went ahead and did the lore books in Elite Dungeon 2 and 3. I completely forgot about Elite Dungeon 1, and I also lost the footage of completing Elite Dungeon 1. But in your case, I got all 3 of those done, and then I did Curse of the Black Stone. And this is another quest that I hadn't done before because my main hasn't done it, and I really like this quest too. I really love the overall aesthetic of all the Elite Dungeons. But with that done, I had one final difficult quest left, and that was Chef's Assistant. And with that complete, I can go and get the beautiful questscape. And so now, since I've completed the questscape and I'm out of quests, I'm kind of needing to figure out what else I need to do and in what order. The spreadsheet kind of breaks down at this point because it's just, just grind levels for various achievements. And so I'm going to need to take a look at all of the achievements for the Master Quest Cape and see what ones I can knock out quickly, what ones I need to grind for. I already know some of the big grinds are going to be, I think you need 117 dungeoneering. I believe you need 114 farming, but I believe you can boost for the farming requirement. And then there is the requirement where you need to capture 110 souls and put them in the Personal Slayer dungeon. That'll also be a very big one. But I just kind of want to work out the lower level ones and work my way up to the bigger ones, and I'll, get there when I get there. Master Quest Cape I know is a massive, massive achievement, and the fact that I'm trying to get it before I max is probably a little hopeful, but we'll see what happens. I don't want to actively avoid maxing, but I also, if I get to the point where I'm like just, it would take me not very long to max, I'll go ahead and do it. But I would love the novelty of getting it before I max. But in either case, thank you very much for watching this episode. I recorded all of this the day before Archaeology comes out, so I'm planning on uploading a video very quickly after Archaeology comes out, just kind of as, my first steps into it, kind of what I think, and, stuff like that. So I'm hoping I can get it out on Monday, but it might be Tuesday instead. But that'll probably be the next episode, and I truly hope I'll have it uploaded very quickly. I apologize again for the very large, like, month-long gap in between episodes, but I think there was a lot of progress crammed into this, and especially here at the end, it's been kind of manic. I've crammed grinding on wires and finishing the quest cape and making the alchemical jewelry all within the last like 5 or 6 days. But it's all done. Archaeology is tomorrow, and I'm very excited. So thank you everybody who watches, and have a great one, and enjoy archaeology tomorrow.